Why are all the ships being scrapped? A cruise chat on this episode of
BoosCruize. Hi, I'm Jarrell.
And I'm David.
I am 34 years old.
Hey guys!
Hello.
So, first of all, we're in our
Guest room,
bedroom.
or filming room, guest room.
Film room. It's a guest bedroom, that we film in. It's
Yes.
nautical themed. You guys have seen it. If you haven't seen it, head on over to our apartment renovation video where you get to see some of the
everything.
nautical. I mean, everything is like the beach. Everything is amazing. It's.
And it seems like the perfect room to film in, so we're like,
For
might as
BoosCruize.
well, yeah.
This is where
For
you're gonna
BoosCruize.
talk.
So
Where you're
we'll
gonna talk cruising.
talk.
So, some of you have asked us. We got a couple of comments about asking us to talk about the scrapping of the ships and just like cruising right now in general. So it's so funny because we were already planning this video. Someone had commented and say, "Hey, will you guys talk about the Carnival Inspiration being scrapped and what you guys think about that?" And we were like, "Oh yeah." And just last night we found out that basically the Carnival Imagination
Is also being scrapped.
Now, when we say being scrapped, what that means is that it is heading to coordinates that normally ships are scrapped. So, Carnival has not made an official announcement saying that this ship is going to be scrapped, but if it's going there, chances are it is. And it makes sense because literally 3 ships that we have sailed on, all the sister ships, meaning, I mean, honestly, one, because of the itinerary, the Fascination, that's where it all began. Technically, it all began, funnily enough, on the Carnival Valor.
Was that the first one we did? Was that
Yeah.
the 2-day BoosCruize thing?
Yes, after we did Disney, it started
Yeah.
there, and so it's funny. That's where it all started, and that with us, that was our first cruise together. We didn't film. BoosCruize wasn't a thing.
Oh, it
then.
wasn't a thing. It was just,
But our first filmed one was Carnival Fascination, which those are by far our most popular cruise videos to date because there are so many of them, and we went to so many islands
places.
and did so many fun
it was
things.
so fun.
I loved that.
So much sunburn.
I know. We were just looking back at.
We were looking, he was like, he showed me a picture, and I'm like, I was so sunburned. And that was before I knew I had sun poisoning.
Did we film us going into? I think we did. We filmed us going to literally a CVS in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, because I was like, my skin looked like I looked like a reptile. It was
He looked like,
bumpy, and I'm like, what's wrong with me?
it looked
And
like
someone was
uncooked
like,
chicken.
It was the pharmacist in CVS. He was like, you have sun poisoning.
He goes, severe. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I was like,
what?
oh.
So wear your sunscreen.
Yes,
And
wear your
sunblock,
sunscreen.
everyone. But anyways.
But we had so much fun on the Carnival Fascination. It's very sad that ships that we had so many memories on are all being scrapped. But I'm also happy that we got a chance to go on them.
Yeah, at least we got the chance.
I know that maybe a year after we went on the Fascination, they did a big refurb and changed it around. The Inspiration and the Imagination. Now, y'all saw us. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a thing a thing. The ships are old.
Yeah.
They're old.
Yeah.
They're old. They're old.
They can use a little spruce.
They're small and they're
a little
old.
spruce.
But you know what?
But you make the best of it, and you still have a great time.
We had the best
time.
time.
You know, if you can overlook, like, I don't know, the emerald green colors.
Oh Lord, that was the
Crystals on the
Fascination.
wall.
It just Vegas in the
But
80s.
who cares?
But-
You're not there to look at the decor. You're there to have fun.
I mean, sometimes you are, but if you're going on like a weekend booze cruise, if you're going on a weekend cruise that's just quick and it's just a quick getaway. Now, the reason that we chose them most of the time was for the Fascination. We chose for the itinerary. The Imagination and Inspiration we chose because the proximity to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are the ships that we have here. Now, luckily, we have one of the newest ships. We have the Panorama here. But before, those were your options, really. I mean, if you were going to go on a Carnival ship. And so, because we have done both options, I'm really kind of excited. Sad to see them go.
Sad to see them go, but excited to see what they're going to offer in replace.
What I have heard is that the I said the Valor. It was not the Carnival Valor. It was the Carnival Victory. Is where
that
we started.
makes sense. I was like, Valor?
No.
Yes, I'll go with it.
The Victory. The Victory is what we started on. Now, funnily enough, funnily. That is not keto.
I know.
So, funnily enough, the Carnival Victory has been completely refurbished and redone, which is a bigger ship than either of those two, and it's gotten so much stuff added, and it got a complete overhaul before all of this pandemic happened, and it got renamed as well. And the rumor is that that is going to come over and be in Seattle.
Oh.
So we're going to be getting not one new ship now. Two new ships.
Both on the West Coast.
Yeah. So I'm super...
Great.
And plus the Panorama, which that is like top of our list. We have to go on the Panorama. It's on this side. That's on top of our list. We also want to go on NCL, obviously. And we're going to be going next year, hopefully.
Hopefully next year. Fingers crossed, everyone.
Fingers crossed.
Who's into cruising, let's...
That and that I was hopefully we get to
together.
Like, you know, have a wedding.
Hopefully.
That would be
we'll
great.
See.
Yeah.
But I mean, but these ships are gonna be gone, but not forgotten.
No.
At the end of the day, we have great memories. We have pictures,
videos, all those memories
on those
ships.
And I'm excited to see what's in store for future cruising.
Same.
Yeah.
How you guys feel about ships being scrapped? Are you kind of like, are you sentimental about it? Are you like, oh my gosh, any ship that gets scrapped is very sad, which I kind of feel, but I'm also
But my
happy.
thing is, what are they going to do in the interim? Like, I guess we can't cruise for the rest of this year for sure, but how long does it take to...
I think some of it really does have to do with financials and the pandemic, and I think they're just kind of... I don't know that if this situation that we're in now weren't a reality, if they would have scrapped these ships, or if they would have just kept them running for a while, because I mean, honestly, those ships were full. Like, when you, especially during the summer and things like that, or during the holidays, those ships were full, and they were constantly going in a loop, constantly.
Do you think this is a sign that cruising may not be happening for a while?
No, I think that we're not going to be cruising for sure until 2021.
For sure. 2021, right. I know.
But I don't know.
Like July, you think, of next year?
I'm not sure.
I'm not even sure about the top of.
I'm scared to even say anything, because you know what? Like, it changes constantly, because before they just keep pushing it back a month and pushing it back a month.
I'm happy that they just did it and said 2020 is canceled out.
Yeah, I think they pretty much canceled.
Give people hope for the next month and the next month, and then just to cancel it. Like, come on.
But
let people make decisions and plan.
Over in Europe, though, they are doing it. Like, if you guys watch Morgan's very unofficial travel guides, shout out to Morgan, who has also featured us in his videos. We love Morgan. He actually is, I
said hi, Morgan.
Oh, sorry. He actually just came off of a 7-day cruise to nowhere because he lives in Germany. And I'm excited to watch this series to see how they do things, because apparently it's kind of like, it's just a completely different way of cruising. You have to show up several times throughout the day and go to a computer and get your temperature checked.
Oh.
On, like, you have to, if you don't do it, they know who hasn't, and it alerts you, and blah 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 blah.
Well, I mean, that's necessary, especially now since it's still rampant. Like, the virus is still out there. That's very necessary. So I
think that would be a great thing to. There's certain things that I want to see. I don't know what I need to see, but there's certain things that I need to see before I feel comfortable getting on a ship again. I definitely want them to be in operation safely for a fair amount of time. Like, I don't want me and our guests to be the guinea pigs for...
I think cruising as we know it would be a little different.
For sure, at least for a while.
I don't know if buffet style will still be a thing.
I don't know.
I don't
think so.
It's going to be different.
It'll be very interesting.
I can't wait till it does open so we can see how the flow of it is and before our cruise starts next year.
Right.
But it's exciting to see what's going to happen, but also nerve-wracking at the same time.
I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, hoping for the best. And also wanting them to do it safely. I really don't know that the industry can necessarily handle a catastrophic return. Like, I don't think that they can all start having people that, piling 2,000 people onto a ship, sending them out, and then having a huge coronavirus outbreak.
It's going to be like one ship at a, like one ship is going to just have to like dive off the deep end and do it, and then they'll see what happens and if there's any cases or any of that. Because I think it's just like how certain companies started slowly opening. I think it's gonna be a slow relaunch.
I think that's definitely what it should be. It should be a slow relaunch. Maybe some cruises to nowhere. Figuring out. I know that they're going to be doing testing beforehand. Not that that is 100%.
Probably gonna have to like self quarantine 14 days before.
Right.
Like I don't know. It's gonna
that's
be
the thing.
different.
Is like, okay, comment down below. Would you? And I'm no judgments. I know people feel very strongly both ways. Would you go on a cruise next month, 2 months or whatever, when they start allowing, next year?
January.
Would you go on a cruise if there was a requirement that you had to wear masks in public areas? Would that be a no-go for you? Would you be like, I will go because that's, and wear a mask because that's the safest? Would you be like, I totally get why, but I will just wait until that's not necessary because that would not be a vacation for me? I personally feel both ways. I feel like I totally get why, and wanting to cruise, and if it were safe, I would be willing to wear a mask, but I also feel like, and a part of me would want to wait until because
until the experimental part of it is over, until there's a vaccine where we don't have to do that.
Right.
Like in my mind, I want to go back to the way it was before.
Right.
And like in my mind, it thinks like it's gonna be very, very not cruise-like.
Right. It just seems so cumbersome to always be in a mask, especially if it's hot. Like if you're in the islands and it's 90 some odd degrees. Like but people are doing it at Disney every day.
People are doing it, and I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
But is that a vacation?
Is it a vacation?
Am I gonna lay by the pool in a lawn chair in a mask, like sweating?
Or are we gonna have to get our food delivered to our rooms in bags or something?
I think it'll be like it'll be like an MDR, like a restaurant situation where you
want to be spaced out,
right?
But I don't think.
I think that'll be. I don't think you'll get like. I don't think you would get like the Lido where you're going and going to a buffet situation. But I just feel like it would be weird to sit in a show. And just kind of like spaced out, and then like with my straw under my mouth. Like I don't know if that would be.
I don't know if it's possible until there's a vaccine. I don't know.
I mean, they're doing it.
But if it is, I mean, they're doing it. But like, to what degree?
I don't know if it would be lovely for me. Like I just don't know if it would be the same.
Did
experience.
that Germany cruise have shows there?
I don't know. I have to see what Morgan. I know that it was very different. I know that they, like I said, it was a cruise to nowhere. They didn't get off. They did have the meals looked lovely. It looked like they were. He thoroughly enjoyed himself and said he felt
that's
super
part of the
safe.
experience too, like going to places, getting off the ship, and experiencing.
Right.
So if that's why you cruise, then
Right. Well, I mean, me, how much I love cruising. I would totally do a cruise to nowhere, like a 4 or 5 day cruise to nowhere, if.
There's a lot of stuff to do on
there was
the ship.
A lot, yeah, exactly. And also, if it were an amazing ship, like if you were on something like the Oasis, like an Oasis class ship on Royal Caribbean, the ship is the destination. Like that is amazing. However, that's like 3,000 people on.
Yeah, they're
ship.
gonna do like how Disney's has like a certain amount of people,
smaller
like
capacity.
Like it's gonna be like 30%.
I don't know. But if they do that, is it then financially worth it to send a ship half full? And then also staff wise, does that mean that the staff is going to be far less because there's far less people, and therefore your experience is going to be different because you're fighting to get a drink?
So many questions. Like I don't know if the cruise industry knows what they're doing yet.
I don't think anyone knows what they're doing yet. We don't know. They don't know.
It may not be financially smart until there's a vaccine. So
and that's also why we haven't done a ton of this type of cruise chat, because there's so many questions and we don't have the answers. And people can guess and be like, well, I think we'll be open next month. But who knows? We have no idea. We don't work in the cruise industry. We don't know.
When this hit the fan, we were like, maybe cruising won't be happening this year at all. That's what we thought.
That's what we thought, yeah.
Because it was just like, it just hit and it was like, boom. People are finally, like, crew members are just now finally getting free from their ships.
Some of them, yeah.
Today.
Some of them, yeah.
Today. Forget his name.
Oh, Clay? No, he's been free. He just finally got back to South Africa.
But his fiance.
Yeah.
She just got free.
Yeah,
she was on a ship for months. They couldn't get off for months. Her and her crewmates. So it's just like crazy. So there's so many laws and so many like things that are involved with this that I just don't know when it's going to end so far, or when the cruise industry is going to start. So
exactly. So,
but we can plan.
We can plan, and you can, we are planning. Our wedding is November 2021.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And honestly, we've already heard that the pricing is insane because they're trying to make up all the money for things like that. Luckily, we have locked in a group rate. So ours is pretty much fixed. We've toyed with the idea of inviting booze. Like, here's the thing, is our wedding is going to be very, very small, like literally just a small amount of friends and family who are going to be doing it in this specific location that is private. But so we can't invite people to that. Like, we can't make it a group cruise for whatever. But we were thinking possibly, especially now, oh my gosh. But we were talking about possibly extending at least our rate so that people, if they wanted to cruise on that same sailing, we'll be on the same sailing. We would be able to say hi. Of course, we would like if we saw you or we went to shows together. Of course, all of that. But just because it's going to be so expensive, and I think that a lot of people aren't going to be able to. So if we are able to maintain the rate that we've locked in, maybe if you guys were interested, we could talk to you guys about it, just because it's going to be so expensive. I don't even know what the pricing is going to be then. So it's just like crazy, and we feel bad because we have locked in a great deal. They can't change it for us. So because we went through a travel agent. But what's all I have to say? All we can do is hope for the best. Pray, if you pray, think positive thoughts, and just hope that not only for us, but for the crew members who rely on that, and for the companies, that everyone gets back to cruising.
Because the last thing we want is for any company to go under.
No.
We want to come out on top of this.
No way.
So yeah, all we can do is pray and hope and wish for the best. And we also want to know about if you guys have cruises booked.
Yes,
like, what's your experiences and like, what's going on? What are you going to do?
How many cruises have you had canceled?
Right.
Because I know some people that are like, this is my 8th cruise that I've had canceled during the time. I'm like, you had 8 cruises in 4 months? Good for you, I wish. Anyway, this is probably like 15, 16 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably long. We just want to come in here and say.
Oh, and do a cruise chat. You guys asked for it.
Yeah, so this is what we do.
We do listen. We listened. I see every comment. I listen to you guys. We love you guys. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. It's at BoosCruize. That's at BOSCRUIZ. Because you're worth it. Come on over to Facebook into the group. It's BoosCruize Booze. BoosCruize BOOS. It's a group. Make sure you answer the question. We have amazing moderators. They will let you in, and we can just like chat it up. All right, guys. Till the next video. We love you.